With another Wave 6 trailer expecting to come soon, I think it's the perfect time for me to share my predictions on what Nintendo will reveal in the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass. As you may already know, Daisy Circuit was revealed in the first trailer, as well as the next 4 new characters. However, that still leaves 7 more tracks for us to speculate. What could it possibly be? As of always guys, be sure to drop a like at any point if you find this video enjoyable, and be sure to subscribe if you're a fan of Mario Kart like me. Anyways, here we go. For the first track of the Acorn Cup, I think we're going to be seeing Tour's Madrid Drive. This track was revealed in Mario Kart Tour pretty recently, and it's overall a really nice track to drive on. I'm personally a big fan of driving through the soccer stadium, which could be an indicator of Real Madrid's home turf, as well as passing through the cafe. I'm also excited to see this pretty open museum, which could come around lap 2 or 3. But yeah, Nintendo has been starting each cup with a city track, so to start off with Madrid track I think is also a nice pick. It's pretty fast paced, and it provides a beautiful and diverse scenery. Daisy Circuit in Mario Kart Wii I think is pretty deserving to be second in the Acorn Cup. It's not necessarily a crazy track, but I highly doubt Nintendo is gonna want to put this track in like the Spiny Cup. I'm pretty happy to hear this track did come back though, as it's one of my favorites in the entire series. I'm a huge fan of the music and the sunset vibes that it emits. Not to mention, it's not particularly too easy for a circuit track. I love how the cones give you some sort of a challenge, and the figure 8 portion could be a nice place for item chaos. Overall, I think Daisy Circuit is a fine addition, and putting it early in this prediction is somewhat reasonable for what it is. Now, as much as I want DK Mountain to come back, I think it makes more sense for Nintendo to include Dino Jungle. Since this is the last wave, bringing back a Double Dash Special Cup track would be perfect here. Plus, we already have a bunch of Easter eggs of Dino Jungle already, so might as well bring what we already see as potential teasers. But yeah, this track has a pretty different feel with its prehistoric time frame. I also thought it was pretty nerve-wracking as well as fun to go around the big sauropod, and the multiple paths in the bridge section could be a great area to get ahead or bag, heck even place an abundance of traps. Not to mention, the shortcut upon entering the cave is a huge game changer, and I would absolutely love to see if you can do that ending cut with a glider or with a well-timed trick boost like in Mario Kart Wii. To end off the Acorn Cup, I'm predicting we're getting Piranha Plant Cove here. This, in my opinion, is one of the most unique tracks in the entire series. Finally, a good track that implements the use of underwater physics, and not to mention, its scenery is always changing. From the Temple Run-esque ruins, to the underwater cave, and to a peaceful, lovely island, this track honestly just slaps. It also has tons of interactable objects, such as the many ramps and sea creatures from the Mario universe. And for those already familiar with its layout and tour, it's gonna be pretty interesting on how Nintendo makes this a section-based track, because just like the city tracks, this one also has different versions. Okay, so moving on to the Spiny Cup, Nintendo will most likely start off with our very last city track from Tour, which is Rome Avanti. Now, I'm pretty happy with how this track came out. I'm a sucker for night vibes as well, and this is no exception. Big fan of the music and a big fan of the layout. The chain chomps and rocky wrenches are also a great addition as obstacles, and spiraling around the Rome Colosseum is also a sight to see. The alleyways you also go through help make you feel like you're really in the Italian city, and moving along the town square will be fun with the many trickable ramps and elevation changes. Personally, I think Rome will end up being one of my favorite city tracks to come to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. If not, definitely a top 2 or 3 contender for sure. Next up, we have Piranha Plant Pipeline. While many of you may think this may not come to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe due to us already having another Piranha Plant related track in Wave 6, look, we already got like 5 million snow tracks in the entire game, so yeah. Plus, I think this track is pretty unique with its alternate path system. After gliding off from the first cave, you literally enter in one of the 2 pipes, with both having unique scenarios. This will be pretty fun seeing which path everyone takes, and in my opinion, if you're lucky enough to pick the one where there's less people, it could just mean less competition. But yeah, while I'm not the biggest fan of the camera angles in Tour, I believe Nintendo will fix that issue in Mario Kart 8. And overall, I think this track is inevitable, since it's a new track coming specifically for Mario Kart Tour, and despite having similar ideas from Piranha Plant Slide, it definitely gives off different vibes, and I'm all for it. Our second to last DLC track has to be a Bowser's Castle track, and as much as I want GCM Bowser's Castle to come back so bad, it just doesn't make sense since it was never remade in Tour. But you know what they remade instead? Yep. We're most likely going to be getting SNES Bowser Castle 3. While this isn't one of my favorite Bowser Castles, Nintendo did a great job redesigning this one. I mean, it almost looks nothing like the original, and that's what we love to see. I love the elevation changes as well as the walls they implemented. Such a small change creates a different vibe. Not to mention, just think about how many places where anti-gravity can be used. And to add, we only have one more SNES track based off of the prefix leak, and knowing what's left from Super Mario Kart, yeah, this is an absolute definite pick. And finally, y'all already knew what's coming. Wii Rainbow Road for our last DLC track to come to Wave 6. This one just honestly makes the most sense. It came back in Mario Kart Tour earlier this year, and despite it only being one lap, it was still amazing to drive on. While I'm not a fan of the rainbow colors, it definitely does not kill the vibe for me. However, I hope it does end up being more vibrant, kind of similar to the original, because bruh, if they can nail how beautiful some of the tracks were in the BCP, like Riverside Park, then I'm definitely sure they can do it here. But yeah, Rainbow Road Wii is definitely my favorite Rainbow Road of all time. The music's great, it's challenging, the Sling Star and Starbit Easter eggs from Mario Galaxy are a nice touch, and to me, it's just the right length if done correctly. And with one more Wii track left based off of the Prefix leak, it totally makes sense to end off with a banger such as this one. Thank you all so much for watching my Wave 6 predictions. It's crazy to think that this may be the end of the road for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and with its booster course pass, but overall, I still want to know what you guys think. Do you agree with my predictions? Regardless, if you do or not, let me know your thoughts and predictions in the comments section below. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.